Alright, so I don't know where to start with this one. I'm reviewing the Shudder original Host, or to Saw Host, double case. Okay, I think Unfriended was better. I'm just saying. Whoa, hey, I'm just saying now. This movie had its moments, particularly towards the end when something actually fucking happened. But, to its credit, it's only an hour and 7 minutes. So it's not even, it's not even that long. What it is, it's based around this group of friends. What disconnected me is, no offense to women, but I feel like when you have an all-female cast, I mean, there's one guy, but he's at the beginning and in the end. That's basically it. There's a couple guys, but one doesn't really do anything except for argue with one of them. But when it's mostly women, I feel like, and nothing against women, it's just women in horror movies, for the most part. There's the final girl, but there's a lot of times, especially in a kind of situation like this, where they just become very whiny. And especially when it gets towards the end, all you hear is a bunch of from the nose. You don't get anything. The one thing that really gets me is when Gemma, I think her name is, jumps out to help one of the other characters, Haley, because they live in the same area, even though she's British. But that doesn't mean anything, I guess. But then that doesn't go anywhere anyway. I just think, I don't know. So what it is this group of friends are doing an online seance, which cannot be a real thing, because if it is, then fine. But don't you have to be all in one place to do a seance? Isn't that how it works? You can't do it online. You have to be in the same place, because you have to hold hands to do the seance. You can't hold hands if you're online. Well, we're in a pandemic. We'll bump elbows. But, I don't know. But they're doing an online seance, and you can get the, feeling that Haley, one of the main characters, she's done it before. Haley, the actress, she reminds me of Victoria Pedretti from, Hunting of Hill House, Hunting of Bly Manor. I've never seen Bly Manor one, but the Hunting of Hill House. They look kind of similar. It's not the same person. Her name is actually Haley. Most of them go by their real first names. Kind of like Blair Witch type thing. Because it's technically found footage, so it'll be in that playlist, I'm sure. So, yeah, and, so let me see if I can remember their names. There's Haley, Caroline, Gemma, Emma, and Teddy. I think that's it. Right? They do this thing at the beginning where Caroline shows that she has this background, this Zoom background where it's her walking in and out of her bedroom or whatever. And that comes into play later because that's where they show it, because it has to come into play later. And they also show that Emma likes playing with the filters, which also comes in play later. And then you have Teddy, who is with his girlfriend, fiance, Ginny, who's a bitch. And this is where I've got to call bullshit. So, they're in the Zoom meeting, and Jill shows up, she blows out his candle, and she cuts them off, like, turns off the Zoom meeting or whatever. And then they do the whole thing where Gemma makes up the story about Jack, and they try to summon a spirit that way. And then the spirit comes after them. But then, after most of them are gone, what happens is, like, a couple of them die. I think, yeah. And he's like this, Salen, which I think she's behind this. to be honest. It doesn't specifically say that, but, you know, she's in there, and then she cuts out, and she comes back, and she cuts out again, and then you get a couple of the characters die. Oh, Radina. Radina was the other character. She has the boyfriend. She's the first one to go, I think. Or no, it's Caroline, because they show her background again, and they show her face getting smashed. And then it's Radina and her boyfriend, Alan, who gets smushed. And then there's other stuff, you know. That happens, and it leaves Emma alone, basically. And then Teddy shows back up again. And somehow, even though Teddy wasn't involved in the seance when they summoned the spirit, he gets attacked too. Bullshit. Bullshit. He should be the one person in this entire Zoom call that's safe. He wasn't around because, according to this thing, it's when Gemma made up the character of Jack that the spirit took form. Teddy was not there when she did it. He was already gone. And yes, you can say, oh, but Jeannie blew out the candle and that's why. Bullshit. Bullshit. Teddy should have not been affected. There's another reason. Oh, it's haunting the Zoom call. So he's in the Zoom call, therefore he's fucked. No, fuck you. Fuck you. No. Teddy should have been safe. He was not there when they summoned it, therefore he has no connection to it. Bullshit. They just wanted another victim on screen, so they brought it back to kill him off. Simple. You know, it makes no sense. So then the final part of this has Gemma showing up at Haley's apartment, because they live close to each other, I guess. By the way, this was filmed during the pandemic, so I don't know how they were able to do that unless they actually live next door to each other, which makes sense. She breaks into the window, and she goes to save Haley, who got dragged in. And so now they use this camera. Why don't they go out there? Okay, so they're trying to use this camera so they can make their way to the front door. Why don't they go out the fucking window? Why don't they go out the window? I mean, come on, she smashed through it. She saved her. Just go out the window. Why do you have to go out the front door? Go out the window. It makes no sense to me. But yes, they're doing the flash, and then you know when this is going to happen because the camera sets itself up completely in the center shot. Because other times it's kind of off a little bit as they're flashing, and then do a flash, the camera centers itself, and they do another flash, there's a blah, and it cuts out, and that's the end. Why is this movie praised? Hey, I give it all to them. I give it up to them. You know, they did a good job with what they had, you know, during the pandemic, and they gave it their all. And look at the creature, not bad. But I gotta say, to quote Drusilla, so disappointing. It is, after all the hype from this thing, and it floats around like a balloon without air, losing its air. I'm sorry. No. It didn't do it for me. It's not terrible. I'll give it that. It was very competently made, but the story beats make no sense. One, you cannot do a seance over Zoom. You have to be holding hands to do a seance. Two, Teddy should not have been attacked. He wasn't there when the demon was summoned. Therefore, he should be safe. Two, there wasn't enough background on these characters. They each have specific items with them, but the only one the only item that gets anything is Teddy's music box. And that's only so they can bring it back during the climax. And then you have, there's no explanation. We see that there's something with Haley, that she's done this before, and at the beginning of this, there's stuff moving around in her apartment. There's already something in her apartment. But, so we get the gist. She's done this before, and she brought something back. But we don't know what it is, and that's never really explained. But, she said, oh, she's my friend, but this Talon, no, doesn't know any of these people, so I have no idea. And you know, you think, oh, she's behind it, or maybe Haley's doing it. There's no explanation as to how, other than just, you summoned it by creating Jack, who's not a real person, by the way. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. It's too underdeveloped. There's not enough backstory. There's not enough given to us. It's only an hour and 7 minutes. Most of the 7 minutes is probably just credits. They do this thing in the credits where they, like, supposedly the cast did a real seance, which, as I said before, you cannot do it a seance over Zoom. You have to be holding hands. That's the major thing about the seance. You hold hands. I don't know why that aggravates me so much, but it does. And, maybe they and there's a lot of padding. There's a lot of times where people will go away. And they're like, are you there? Are you there? What's going on? Are you there? And, there's no reason for Salen to cut out in the middle of this call. She cuts out, and then she comes back, and she cuts out again. And they do this stupid jump scare where there might be something in her house. Oh no, it's the food that she ordered. Because she just forgot to tell them she ordered food, so someone might be knocking on the door. Nope. It just... I give it to you. You tried. You did a pretty good job with what you had. But a little more exposition in certain areas. A little less filler. A little more to the story, and this would have been a lot better. As it stands, I think it's decent, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. So what are your thoughts on Host? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.